is happening, Magnusites? Yeah. So, finally, we got back to business. After whatever the hell they were trying new last week, we got back to business. I love Grogu, a.k.a. Baby Yoda. Love him. Love him! So, Baby Yoda is being trained to be a Mandalorian now. This is going to be extremely interesting. So it starts out with showing the Mandalorians training. By the way, I get an answer to my whole helmet question. I don't think I've ever asked the question, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they can't remove their helmet. That makes no sense. I've even seen, the Mandalorian, get something to drink and go like this. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I don't understand. You guys have to take showers and other stuff, I assume, at some point. It doesn't make any sense to never be able to remove your helmet. I'll talk about that later. So, Grogu is sitting there. And I thought he was actually using the Force to move some rocks. But he wasn't. He was looking at some rocks moving. They were like, they call them hermit crab. Space hermit crabs. So instead of shells, it was rocks that they had as shells, I guess. So he picks him up and puts him up against this other kid, other foundling, to learn how to fight in this particular test. So the kid chooses darts as the way to test their skill or whatever. So Grogu, they put this little thing on him. I was like, oh! They put the little arrow fire on his arm. He tells him to squeeze your fist to, He said, so Grogu gets hit by that one kid once. He gets hit again. He's like, Grogu, I know what you can do. It's okay. So, what I was actually hoping was going to happen was the kid was going to shoot the arrow at him. He was going to stop it, a la like Kylo Ren, and then pew, pew, pew. But he jumped over the kid. The kid didn't know. He jumped back over the kid and pew, 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 got him. So he ended up winning. Then out of nowhere, it turns into Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. This damn space dragon swoops out of nowhere and picks up the kid that lost. And they're giving chase. A few of the Mandalorians are all giving chase. And they all start dropping out of the air because they run out of fuel in their jetpacks. So the girl comes back. I forgot her name. Bo-Katan comes back and she's like, I tracked it. We can go back and get it, basically before he kills the boy. I'm the whole time thing, I'm like, could be killing the boy now. Like, I don't understand. What do you mean? You've tracked it. You should have, y'all need to go now. So they prepare this hunt for it. And they go back to get him. Meanwhile, Grogu is with the woman-lorian, the leader. And so she's teaching him and talking to him about the Mandalorian while making him a piece of armor to add to his chainmail. As he's seeing her pounding on this machine, he has a flashback to the Jedi Temple being attacked. So he's with a few Jedi in his little pod. And so I guess he's always had his pod, huh? And he gets put into this elevator as the Jedi are getting killed. The elevator opens, and it's a Jedi, and he's like, don't worry, kid, everything's going to be all right. So he was badass. He had 2 lightsabers fending off, taking out all the troopers and shit. And he gets away with them on a speeder bike, and they give chase, and he finally gets rid of them, and he lands. He said, just, some friends here. So they give him a ship. And he gets out of there with Grogu. So I guess we'll find out how he got into the hands of the Empire because, this is a Jedi that had him. So something must happen later. So that gives us an answer to who saved him. People were saying that it was Mace Windu who saved him. People were saying that it was actually Jar Jar Binks who saved him, which would have been redemption for Jar Jar being so irritating, but it wasn't him. So after that, he comes back to reality, and he's still with her, of course. So the Mandalorians are all trying to save this kid, foundling who got taken. And they said, well, last time that it killed the child when it saw us coming, when it knew we were coming. So they went old Adam West style. Batman had the grappling guns to climb this peak to where it was at. When they got up there, they could see a heat signature, and one of them just went after him. And they're like, wait, we haven't, secured the area. He's like, he's my son. So you're like, oh, I gave us some more context there. So the dude with the straight up, Gatling gun, minigun pack thing, it's his son. Ends up being 3 babies in the nest. They about to eat him. They're attacking him or whatever. Here comes the dragon out of nowhere. They're shooting at it, firing at it. It's got the kid. And they finally get it to drop into the water by shooting all these lines at it and stuff and getting the kid. And then it gets ate by this giant sea monster that I did not expect, which will probably be my thumbnail for my reaction. Yeah, and then they bring the kid back, and they bring the babies back, actually. I was like, what are they going to use the babies for? I don't know if I missed it in any dialogue, because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, oh, they brought the babies back, huh? I don't know if they're going to eat them. They're going to raise them to be trained dragons for them. Who knows? But anyway, so when they're going back a little bit, the search party, she said, what did she ask him? Said something, but after everyone had something to eat, they're all supposed to go off in separate directions when they're alone to remove their helmet to eat. I was like, okay, because this whole not removing your helmet thing is ridiculous. Like, you have to, you know what I mean? If you got to sneeze, you got to clean your nose, you know what I mean? It's just so many things. Well, if you want to procreate and you want to kiss, do you make love with your helmet on? Anyway. So, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Let me see here. Anything else I missed? I don't think so. At the end, Bo-Katan gets a new plate added, and it's the thing, I forgot what it's called, a Megathor or whatever, I forgot what it's called, Mythosaur or something. And she tells the leader that she saw one. She's like, well, yeah, she may have seemed like she was delusional, like we see things sometimes, and she's like, no, it was real. And she was like, this is the way. So, yeah. Pretty much loved this episode. Pretty much loved it. I had a good time. I had a really good time. Great special effects. Nothing took me out of it. Yeah. I'll give this 4.5 out of 5 woos. Back on track. Don't do that crap that you did last week, please. No more. Don't do it. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think, though. If you enjoyed my thoughts and reaction on it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share while this is my review. So, yeah. 10 million subscribers. Woo!